Hey, what's up, guys? Norchetto here. Thanks for stopping in. So today we're going over ATL Academy's second game. This is Season 3 of Contenders Week 2 versus Uprising Academy. This took place on December the 4th at 7 p.m. We started the day off on Ilios with Ruins. ATL Academy came in very aggressively, which is a theme not only of the day, but of ATL Academy in general, and that aggression included some deep dives by Gator that cost him his life several times, but allowed the team to capitalize on opportunities created. The hard aggression paid off, and we ended up pushing Boston Academy all the way back to spawn at one point. Boston Academy was able to take the point, but lost it soon after thanks to some clutch plays, resulting in ATL Academy negating Boston's ults and capitalizing on their own, leading Atlanta to taking Ruins and putting them up 1-0 on Ilios. Lighthouse was next, and it was a slaughter. ATL Academy took the point right after it unlocked and dominated throughout, thanks to smart ult management, allowing us to survive longer fights than Boston. Sugarfeast specifically was able to hold on to a rally until late in a fight to secure it, and the team just played smart and were able to dominate Boston Academy, taking Lighthouse and, in turn, taking Ilios. Numbani was map number 2 when ATL Academy started on defense with some early aggression that unfortunately did not pay off. I actually really liked this play, even if it didn't work out, due to the strategy behind it, which seemed to be to kind of get into Boston Academy's heads and make them feel unsafe no matter where they were. If they were right outside the spawn or getting ready to push the point, they just didn't know when they were going to get jumped on. We saw that Boston was susceptible to being scattered and kind of discombobulated due to being engaged early on Ilios, and this was kind of playing into that. Unfortunately, though, it didn't work out, and Boston was able to take point A after a hard-fought fight. It didn't matter much, though, because ATL Academy answered the point A loss by, again, spawn camping Boston Academy, and they were able to do this thanks to very disciplined play and positional awareness. Dogman and Ajax played safe but did work, Sugarfree played the corner so they couldn't push in safely, and Hawk set up a great trap for when they did push in so that he could drop a Hawk bomb and dismantle them immediately. They were eventually able to push through and push a bit closer to point B, but were shut down due to basically how little time was left and some insane plays by ATL Academy, including very smart positioning and awareness by Ajax and Dogman to kind of pump a massive amount of damage into the team while keeping themselves and ATL Academy safe. Something else I really wanted to point out on this map, though, was Hawk's ult charge during the final fight. It was absolutely mental. He was able to drop a Hawk bomb, and then from the moment he remeched, it took him 13 seconds to build another bomb and drop it. 13 seconds. That is insane for a Diva to be able to charge that. Hawk is definitely the best off-tank in Contenders, and the dude is playing at OWL level right now. It's absolutely nuts. Moving on to attack, we did get to see some very good insight into ATL Academy and their strengths and weaknesses. We initially started with Gator on Rhine trying to push the team slowly and methodically onto the high ground in order to kind of push Boston Academy off. It didn't work, unfortunately, and our guys were destroyed. The second push, though, swapped that slow Brawn for kind of better positioning and more speed as we quickly moved to the backside of the point in order to make the fight come to us. This was way more comfortable of a fight and allowed us to get one of those long, drawn-out fights that we're actually really good at. We did almost lose this fight, but Pogman made some gigantic picks by keeping his head, staying in a smart position, and keeping focus on priority targets. And after a couple of key picks, Dogchamp was able to pop Transcendence to reestablish the fight and make it winnable, and helped carry the team to take point A. Not much really happened after that. We rolled through Boston and just stayed consistent, stayed smart, played the positions, and we secured the win on Numbani, putting us up 2-0. Map 3 was Hanamura, where we didn't play goats. We started defense and did not play goats. We played a more balanced composition on defense, where Sugarfree went Junkrat, and he made some huge plays to turn the tides on a couple of point A fights. And Saucy went Widowmaker and showed us that we are not a one-trick goats team. It's just the meta, and we know how to play it. But he was doing also some major work, clicking foreheads, helping demech Crackalakin on the Diva pretty early on in a fight to really allow Sugarfree's Junkrat to do a ton of work. So just really smart play. We did end up losing point A, which caused Sugarfree to swap over to the Mei and Saucy to swap over to the Doomfist, and they did do some work on those characters, but Boston were able to push in and secure point B with time on the clock. Now, Boston, this wasn't necessarily just ATL Academy, not performing or something going wrong. Boston kind of stepped it up on Hanamura, and they were actually looking better than they had in the previous two maps. So, good on them, but this, moved over to our attack, and we kind of showed them how you play a 3-3 comp. So we went back to 3-3, we went back to a goats comp, and we did work taking point A off based on some key picks from Dogman and Ajax, who consistently played their positions well while maintaining focus on the priority targets. Thanks to those picks, we were able to move on to point A and secure that and then move on to point B, where we were held okay, but then we built ults and just completely dismantled their defenses. It was another long fight that, started to turn back thanks to Boston's respawn advantage, but Hawk had another one of those insane 2 ults, 1 fight moves, and yeah, we ended up taking point B. Back on defense, ATL Academy went the aggressive route again, trying to engage them close to the spawn, and it ended up failing again. I didn't like this one as much as I did the spawn push on Numbani, just because of how close the attacking spawn is and how far away the defending spawn is. And yeah, unfortunately, Sugar Free's Brigida fell pretty quick, which allowed Boston to move to the point and take it. But that's kind of where the push would stop, as they tried to move on and take point B, and we pretty handedly held them. Back to point A one more time for ATL Academy. Boston Academy actually pulled off what Atlanta was trying to do and got an early kill on Sugar Free close to the spawn with that aggression. It did drain some time off the clock, but unfortunately they ended up pushing too far through the choke while they were trying to defend, and being out of position, we were able to kind of just melt through fusions, and the rest of Boston fell apart so we could take point A. We then quickly moved on, had plenty of time to move on to point B, took it from Boston, and ended up taking the map to put Atlanta up 3-0 and win against Boston Academy. But this was not the last map. We finally had Dorado, which was kind of eerily similar to the Dorado game versus Mayhem Academy last week. We again started on defense, and thanks to attention to the Far Mercy combo by Dogman and Hawk, we were able to completely shut down that strategy and kind of stop the payload before point A. This allowed us to feel confident to kind of smartly push through towards point A ourselves by utilizing Saucy on Widowmaker to counter Boston's Widowmaker. And after we kind of saw that we were through the initial push, because we got held pretty hard by Mayhem Academy on that very, very first push on Dorado. But seeing as we were able to push that through, Saucy swapped back over to the Zarya, and thanks to some smart ult tracking and being able to dismantle the Farah barrage, we ended up dominating Boston's defense and won on Dorado, making it a 4-0 day and creating some major fear in the minds of the teams we haven't played yet. So Congarna first gen and Fusion University, watch out. Atlanta's coming, and we have Hawk bombs. So next week is week 3, and ATL Academy is taking on Congarna. This is going to take place on December 11th at 7:45 p.m. Now, Congarna has gone 0-2 up against First Generation and Fusion University, which are 2 teams that are looking pretty strong that we're going to have to face later on. So this game is hopefully a good chance to see, what we need to work on and how we might compare to a team that's already faced those 2. So I'm really looking forward to it, and until next time, guys, talk to you later.